Imagine standing in a world so harsh that the wind slices like razor blades and the sun vanishes for months on end. For most of us, such conditions sound utterly unlivable. A frozen wasteland where just stepping outside could spell disaster. But for the Inuit people, this is daily life. These Arctic natives have stunned scientists with their almost superhuman ability to not just endure, but flourish in an environment where most would quickly succumb. The cold bites hard, food is scarce, and the dark stretches on endlessly. But the Inuit persevere with ancient knowledge and genetic adaptations that defy modern understanding. Their lives revolve around hunting colossal marine animals with traditional tools, carving existence from ice and snow where survival alone feels like a miracle. Their diet is another puzzle that has left the scientific community scratching their heads. Imagine living almost entirely on whale fat, raw seal meat, and fish, with virtually no fruits or vegetables in sight. By Western health standards, that should be a one-way ticket to heart disease. But not for the Inuit. Their cardiovascular health is among the best in the world. How? Researchers have discovered a rare genetic trait that allows their bodies to metabolize fat differently, making them immune to the dangers we associate with such a high-fat diet. It's as if evolution handed them a survival cheat code written specifically for the Arctic. Their biology doesn't just accept the cold, it embraces it. Shorter limbs and compact frames help conserve heat. Their metabolism runs hot, generating warmth where others would freeze. These people weren't just born into the Arctic, they were built for it. Even their language reveals something extraordinary. You've probably heard that the Inuit have dozens of words for snow, but that barely scratches the surface. Their language, Inuktitut, actually shapes how they perceive reality. Instead of directions like left or right, they think in absolutes like north and south. This gives them a kind of built-in compass, allowing them to orient themselves no matter the conditions. Imagine being blindfolded, spun around, and still pointing due north without missing a beat. Scientists still don't fully understand how this is possible, but it all adds to the same baffling question. Are the Inuit evidence that humans can evolve to conquer any climate? Or are they keeping ancient secrets that modern science has yet to decode? But the Inuit are just one chapter in the book of humanity's most extraordinary cultures. Far from the frozen Arctic, on remote islands in the Pacific, another group faced a very different mystery, one that blurred the lines between faith and misunderstanding. During World War II, Melanesian islanders encountered the modern world in the most surreal way. Without warning, massive planes began dropping supplies, food, clothing, tools. To the isolated islanders, these metal birds and their mysterious cargo were nothing short of divine. The Americans who operated them, gods in uniform. And when the war ended and the soldiers vanished, so did the miracles. But the locals didn't give up. They tried to summon the cargo again by mimicking what they had seen. Building wooden runways, carving airplanes from trees, and even painting USA on their bodies. It was an act of pure belief, the birth of the cargo cults. While modern scholars now use the term to describe blind imitation, for those islanders, it wasn't a metaphor. It was a desperate attempt to bring back what they believed had been taken from them. Then there's the Naga of northeastern India. Tribes with a history so intense, it borders on myth. Spread across the India-Myanmar border, these warrior clans were once feared across the region. Stories speak of Naga hunters wrestling tigers barehanded and collecting enemy heads as trophies. Yes, headhunting wasn't just war. It was a rite of passage, a mark of status and power. These warriors wore tattoos to commemorate their kills, and the more heads they took, the more revered they became. Over time, the practice faded, but the stories live on. Beneath the blood-stained legends, though, is a society that's also deeply creative and surprisingly progressive. Women held rights in the home, and craftsmanship, pottery, weaponry, blacksmithing was highly developed. Their inheritance customs were unique too. The eldest son would inherit the family home upon marriage, while the parents moved out to start anew. It's a culture of fierce pride, independence, and endurance. Travel deep into the mountains of Papua New Guinea, and you'll find the Yali tribe, a group so isolated they weren't even known to the outside world until the 20th century, living in the steep forested highlands. They've built a society entirely in tune with their surroundings. Their world is rugged and remote, untouched by the rush of modern life. The Yali live by strict codes, with spiritual and social rituals that still baffle researchers. Nearby, the Kuna people, living off Panama's coast, present a different kind of strength. Their bright textiles and colorful appearance might seem inviting, but they're no strangers to defiance. The Kuna have fiercely protected their land and traditions for generations. When it comes to preserving spiritual harmony, they don't hold back. Animal sacrifices and elaborate ceremonies are performed to ensure balance is maintained. And if outsiders try to interfere, the Kuna stand ready to defend their autonomy with pride and force. Way up in Northeast Asia, along Russia's frozen Chukotka Peninsula, the Chukchi people quietly carry on a legacy of survival that dates back thousands of years. Split into inland reindeer herders and coastal sea hunters, the Chukchi have learned to thrive in one of the planet's most punishing climates. They live in tents called urus, reinforced with reindeer hides and stone to weather Arctic storms. Inside, central fires provide surprising warmth, allowing life to continue even in bitter temperatures. While Soviet influence brought some modernization, the heart of Chukchi life remains unchanged. Firearms may have replaced spears, but the essence of their hunting and herding traditions lives on, resilient and resourceful. Meanwhile, in the sun-scorched plains of East Africa, the Surma people of Ethiopia and South Sudan confront a different kind of challenge. They've resisted outside influence with fierce determination, choosing to preserve their way of life at all costs. Made up of three main tribes, Turga, Chai, and Boom, the Surma rely on cattle and agriculture, but what stands out most is their commitment to body art. Intricate scars, painted patterns, and dramatic lip plates, sometimes stretching the lip by inches, mark beauty and status in their culture. A woman's plate size isn't just fashion. It affects her dowry and social value. To the Surma, the body is a canvas for pride and identity, and each mark tells a story of strength and tradition. Not far away, the Mursi tribe of Ethiopia shares many of these customs, but with a twist that adds an edge of danger. Mursi women also wear enormous lip plates, but this tribe's reputation for intensity goes far beyond appearances. In a land where disputes can quickly become deadly, the Mursi are often heavily armed, walking with AK-47s slung over their shoulders. Raids and conflict are part of their world, and visitors are warned to approach with extreme caution. But behind their intimidating presence is a culture built on honor, tradition, and deep respect for ancestral ways. For the Mursi, every ritual, every scar, and every act of defense ties back to a collective identity that refuses to be erased. And then there are the Sentinelese, a people so isolated, their very existence seems like something from another era. Living on North Sentinel Island in the Bay of Bengal, they are considered one of the last truly uncontacted tribes in the world. Fiercely protective of their land, they greet outsiders not with curiosity, but with spears and arrows. Any attempt to approach is met with violent resistance. They fish, hunt, and gather in complete isolation, rejecting all forms of modernity. The Indian government has long banned visits to the island, knowing that contact could destroy their way of life or result in more bloodshed. For the Sentinelese, the outside world doesn't exist. Their island is their universe, and they intend to keep it that way. Each of these tribes offers a glimpse into the staggering range of human resilience. From icy tundras to sweltering savannas, from ancient hunting rituals to modern-day resistance, these people have adapted in ways that boggle the mind. Whether through genetics, culture, or sheer willpower, they've carved out lives where few would dare to follow. What do you think? Are these people evidence of how far humans can evolve? Or are they holding on to wisdom the modern world has forgotten?